This week's episode has been brought to you by Infinity Logistics Enterprise. Why worry about sending tons of emails, making tons of calls, and paying tons of invoices for your tons of shipments when a freight broker will do it all on your behalf? Save yourself time and resources by contacting the good folks at Infinity Logistics Enterprise. Their phone number is 708-991-7608, or you can hit up the website at www.infinitylogisticenterprise.com. Also hit them on the email at info@infinitylogisticenterprise.com. Hey man, on this week's episode, look who's back in the building.
We're going to talk about COVID and conspiracy theories.
Or lack thereof. You know what I mean? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Let's start the show. ShopTalk NC. Wipe your feet. Come on in. And close my door behind you. Hey, what's going on for the 2022? Welcome to another episode of ShopTalk NC. It's your man, 58 South. And look who I ran into.
Shaunna, the Socialite.
What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much. I mean, there's been a lot going on, but life really slowed me down.
Working too hard, or did you Marion tap dance on you a little bit?
Marion got me. There's an ice box where my heart used to be.
My goodness, my goodness.
I like to call it HoeVid. HoeVid. Yeah.
So, please explain HoeVid.
So there was a meme that people had put out that said that you catch COVID from going out to the club when other people have it and they know that they're sick, but they still go out anyway. So that they're saying that the unsavory people, the hoes, are the ones that are going to the clubs and they're giving it to people when they know they're sick.
So that would make everybody that's in the spot a potential HoeVid carrier.
HoeViders, yeah.
HoeViders. This is interesting.
Yeah, so the end of December. Now, mind you, I hadn't gone out for like 3 months because I said I'm going to slow down anyways, need to focus on work and stuff like that and my relationship. But then, on winter break, I was just like, I can go somewhere. I've been 2 years without COVID. I can go. Went out. I went out one weekend, and then the next weekend after that, I went out. And boy, when I tell you 2 days later.
So you rolled the dice.
I rolled the dice. Had no mask on. That was my fault. I always wear my mask. And so I felt bad, so I went and got tested. The first rapid test was negative, but I was like, nah, there's something up. So then I went and got the PCR, which is the regular test. It takes like 2 days to get back. And it was positive, but I'd already started quarantining because I knew this is not right. So I want to say we're 2 weeks later and I still have like a little congestion, but I'm not, I'm negative. I tested twice and I went to see my doctor, my primary care provider. So I'm good.
So I guess what were the symptoms that made you even think to take a test?
So I started coughing and sneezing, and then I had like runny nose and congestion.
Like a regular common cold.
Like a regular common cold, except then I started getting a headache. I had chills. I had body aches. I couldn't.
The flu.
Yeah, like the flu. So I don't know if I had flu-rona because they didn't test me for flu-rona, but I might have had flu-rona.
Flu-rona.
Yeah, that's a real name. I didn't make that one up.
Hey.
I wish I could take credit for it. So, yeah, and then I ended up Googling because I had gotten so bad where I didn't want to do anything, move, eat, anything like that, and I was sweating all the time. I Googled, like, when do you need to go to the hospital for COVID?
Right.
And basically, everything on the internet said that you only need to go to the hospital if you're having problems breathing. Anything else, they're just going to give you an IV, send you home, even if they give you that, because they're so full. So I stayed home, fought it with some Mucinex when I finally ended up going to my doctor because I had developed pink eye, which we call it like COVID eye.
And you got pink eye from COVID?
Yeah. I don't know, conjunctivitis. I got it. So remember when Mike Pence was on the stage and he had the fly on his head and he had that eye that was weird and everybody was like, he's got COVID eyes? Yeah.
I remember the fly. I don't remember the eyeball.
Yeah, and one of his eyes was like weird red.
Okay.
So I went to the doctor for that, basically in like the congestion, and he was just like, you need to get some Sudafed. And I was like, I've been fighting this with Mucinex for like the longest time. And little unknown story, if you take too much acetaminophen, which is Tylenol, you can damage your liver. So you have to be careful with that too. And so, but the Sudafed is behind the counter, but it's not prescription.
Yeah, it's behind the counter because people use it to make meth.
Didn't know that. Or maybe it was in my brain somewhere, but I don't need that information. So I didn't understand.
You do when you're trying to buy Sudafed.
So look, my doctor was so funny, right? My doctor was so funny. He was just like, you have to ask for it, and they're going to ask you for your license so they can see if you've bought it anywhere else. I said, but for what? He said, because people are making meth out of it.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know the recipe, but you need some paint thinner. So don't buy those two things at the same time. I said, sir, I don't need to know this. I don't need the recipe, none of that stuff.
You do need to know it, because what if you were buying the Sudafed for you, and then your pops was like, hey, give me some paint thinner while you out. Now you on a different type of list.
I wouldn't have gone to CVS or Walgreens. Yeah.
Now you on another list because you just bought paint thinner and Sudafed.
You don't need your ID for paint thinner, do you?
No, but they'll see that you bought that and that.
Yeah, so they had like a 20-pack, a 48-pack, and like a 80-something. And so I was like, give me the 48 because I don't want to be on this list twice. So yeah, so my basic sum up of having coronavirus, which I never thought I would get. I thought I had like magic.
This was just regular corona. It's not Omicron or none of that.
They don't test you for it unless you specify that you want them to test you for the different variants.
So you just got the
regular SARS, COVID, yeah. So the Sudafed helped way more than anything else helped.
What did it help with the congestion?
The help with the congestion, it helped with like clearing your head up and all that stuff. I stopped taking it because I don't need that much more medicine in my life. I just want my body to try to fight it. But please be careful out there because it is real. No matter if you've gone the whole 2 years without getting it, or if you've already had it once, you can still get it again. If it's a different variant, that's what I learned. You can get different variants, so you could possibly have it like 4 times. So just be careful, y'all. And if you're sick, stay home. It's not worth it.
Everybody's an advocate for staying home after they already caught the shit.
Once you almost die from it. Once you almost die from it, you got to stay away from your friends for a month almost.
She was cool while she was cutting the rug at the club. You know?
I was so cute, too. I had on like a sequins outfit. I saw everybody I knew.
Yeah. COVID is attracted to sequins. Yep.
I'm going to write that down.
It's attracted to sequins.
I need to burn that outfit.
Yeah. Any of them Tina Turner looking dresses, COVID, yeah.
It wasn't it was like a skirt. It was like mermaid color. Like you flip the different colors, and then it was a black sequins top, but it looked like a dress put together. It was really cute.
Yep.
You couldn't tell me I wasn't a model when I was out there because I was like...
COVID could.
COVID.
And it did.
COVID got my phone number, came home with me.
So, was this New Year's Eve that you got?
No, not New Year's Eve. The weekend before that.
So you were down New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I couldn't go anywhere.
Man, so I know how you bring in New Year's Eve with
At
Sudafed.
the house.
With Sudafed.
Yeah, I literally rolled over, turned the TV on, was like, yay, and then I went back to sleep. And then I watched Andy Cohen and what's the guy with the white hair? Anderson Cooper.
Okay.
Anderson Cooper.
The
CNN people that were on there for the ball drop.
Oh yeah, I don't never watch.
Oh my gosh, they were plastered.
We just wait till 12 and.
No, they were plastered. They kept taking shots and stuff, and then Andy Cohen ended up. He's the one that hosts stuff on like the Real Housewives of the reunions. Okay. He hosts those. So he was going off, and then he mentioned like the mayor of New York, and he was like, "This is the worst mayor." He was plastered. So I thought that was hilarious. I was like, they're celebrating for me. I can't do anything.
So what's the first thing you did when you found out you were negative?
I did a little shout. Praise the Lord. Okay. I did. Every day I woke up, I would literally go like this. Like, thank you, Jesus.
Did you keep in touch with your, probably not your class, but somebody from work?
Of course. I had to tell them that I was positive. That was probably one of the harder things for me to do because I don't, when you have like coronavirus, people treat you like you're a leper.
I have no clue.
They treat you like, oh, yeah, good. Yeah. They treat you like you've got a disease, yeah, and it's contagious. So they treat you like you're the worst thing in the world. Like they treat
you like you got a contagious disease.
True facts, but they treat you like you got the plague.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
It's like I never wanted to be seen as like dirty like that because I'm like somebody else gave this to me.
It's not like an STD. This shit is airborne.
True. But still,
but it sounds like you carry that same shame.
Yes, it's a deep down like dirty shame because I should have been smarter than that.
Like corona and chlamydia are cousins. It's not the same. No, you got an airborne.
They're in the
disease.
virus family. They're underneath the umbrella.
Yeah, but you ain't get a shot in the ass and get rid of corona.
Is that what you do?
That's what they tell you.
Oh, I don't. Yeah. Anyways, so I never wanted to be that person. So when I called my job, I talked to my principal and I was just like, hey, I'm positive. What do I need to do? So they were so stressed out because we have no subs and they had to get one of the specialist teachers to teach my class. And they were like pulling people from everywhere because we had so many people out.
With COVID.
Either they were positive with COVID or they had traveled out of the country, so they had to quarantine to make sure that they didn't have it.
You almost make a lot of money at your school. A lot of people traveled out of the country.
Well, I teach at a bilingual school.
Oh.
So they go back to their native country.
Man.
So a lot of people went to Colombia, Peru, Puerto Rico. Like a lot of people traveled out.
Oh, it went to...
And some people just went on vacation, so they had to wait anyways.
It went to where it's cheap at, dude. All right.
Where they live at. What do you mean? Don't say that.
What you mean? It's cost of living is greater down there.
Well, when you already have like family there and they have their own land and stuff
even
like
better.
that.
Cost even cheaper. But,
my friends from Colombia, the teachers from Colombia, they grew up having maids in their house. Like even though they were not like super rich or whatever, they were just like everybody has a maid. So one of my friends, she actually had a maid for her apartment. And I was like, you've got 3 people living in the apartment, 2 are grown, 1's a child. Y'all can't do none of this yourself?
Hey, man.
They were like, this is what we're accustomed to. You get a maid.
Nice.
So, yeah, there's a difference.
Nice.
How was your week since I've seen you? Happy New Year.
Right on. Yeah, everything's great over here, man. You know what I mean? COVID free.
Amen.
Yeah. Looking to stay that way.
Yeah. Also, I am vaccinated. I've got 2 shots done. I didn't get the booster done. So don't think that it's a fight for the unvaccinated or like a disease for the unvaccinated. It's for everybody. Omarion was just tiptoeing on my butt.
It's for everybody in the clubs. I mean, you know.
No, it's not. And I don't want to put that out there that it's just for people that go to clubs. It's just more or less like outings, large crowds, that type of thing.
Yeah, sequin skirt people at the club.
Trying to show a little leg.
There you go.
Messed up.
Try to show a little leg and COVID hopped on that ass. That's how that works. That's how that works. So while you were down, looking at all my children and whatever you was watching, what'd you notice in the news that caught your attention, other than everybody's catching
the CDC with their shenanigans?
How they keep flip-flopping?
Oh my gosh! And Fauci came out and said, now mind you, some of the things that Fauci says I agree with. Some of the things I don't, because I know that he had a hand in creating this virus and the vaccine. I know that.
Wait.
We all know this.
We all don't know anything.
We all watch CNN. If you don't, then you're not. You might be a late millennial.
First of all, let's not act like CNN is the most trustworthy news source. Anyway, secondly, where are you getting this Fauci got a hand in creating?
There's a patent for the coronavirus. So
Right.
they basically here's a theory that I got. Now, mind you, y'all know I'm known to make up stuff, but
Joe, yeah, I don't want you to do
listen.
that.
So I'm gonna go for it. So I'm
Time
saying,
out. I don't want you making up anything in 2022.
So this is okay.
Man.
So I did a little bit of research. Okay, listen to me. I did a little bit of research. So what happened is that there was a virus that was at a university in the United States. I want to say Duke, to be honest with you. Could have been Oxford. Who knows? So some people of possible Asian descent.
Yo, hold on. Wait, time out.
Did you see how politically correct I tried to be?
The views of Shaunna the Socialite are not necessarily the views of ShopTalk NC. They are strictly her views and her views only.
And I preface this with saying that this is a theory. I'm not saying it's true. But I did a little bit of research. Okay. No one knows for sure. Who knows? So there was a virus, like some vials of viruses that were stolen from this university and taken back to China, to the Wuhan University, the Wuhan Institute. That is where something either went horribly wrong. This sounds like a horror movie, or it was leaked, and then that's
like the AIDS with the monkey thing. But go ahead.
So there's some. Okay, I got you. So then that's when it was an outbreak. Then the Chinese government, no offense to China, I love you guys, tried to cover it up because it was.
Yes, offense to the Chinese government in this story. She just said no offense to them. Like you just said,
that's what
the
Trump
government
said. But anyways. So, and I would never quote Trump again, I promise. So then the government, they're so private in their own entity. They were just like, let's cover this up. Let's just hope that these people here get sick. But then, oh no, you got to go travel, got to go out of the country. So then that's how it spread. So if they would have said ahead of time, like, hey, we've got something going on over here, we're going to keep it here, it would have possibly saved more lives. But then again, what's written is written, and what's going to happen is going to happen. So Fauci knew about it because he had already done research on it, kind of like he knew about HIV and AIDS before anybody else did and how to treat it and all this other stuff. So Fauci's been around for a long time as like a virologist, epidemiologist, pandemic specialist type of thing. So he had already developed, that's why the vaccine rolled out so quickly, was because he already knew what it was and how to treat it. So now the only reason, I'll go back to my original statement, the only reason that they're flip-flopping back and forth with the time limits is because if you stay out 10 days and you stay out 10 days and everybody else stays out 10 days, and who's going to be at work? And he admitted that in front of him, and Rand Paul got into it on the House floor.
Yeah, that was like, was it yesterday or something?
Yeah, they got into it about that. So he was just like, Rand Paul is giving him a run for his money, saying, you know, why are you changing this? Why is this like this if it was 10 days before? And if you're still sick on day 5? Because I honestly, if I was infected on a Sunday and then I didn't get test positive until Wednesday. I didn't test positive until Wednesday. Monday I was fine. Tuesday I was fine because I got tested both days. Then on day 5, you're just in the swing of the positivity.
Yeah, from what I understand, they don't care if you have it or not after the 5th day now. It's just, you can go back to work.
There have been so many memes on social media. It's just like, if you don't give a darn, we don't give a... That's what the CDC says. So, but yeah, I don't want to hamper on that. But I just think that was what I was seeing in the news, more or less. And then some more stuff about the Brown guy, Antonio Brown. I'm trying my hardest with this sports thing.
The Brown guy.
Is that his name?
Yeah, he's
so there was this thing that came out that
he's a brown guy, yes.
He racism.
Yes.
No. So he left the bubble to go meet some Instagram model to, you know, fornicate or whatever. And then she came up positive. Now this is the girl that was
the bubble, what are you talking about?
So, you know, the NFL players and the NBA players and all them, they have to stay inside their bubble. So they can't go out and meet other people or whatever else. It's like, remember when they went to camp and they had to all stay together and eat together?
I remember the NBA did that.
Okay, yeah. So they're doing the same thing. So not everybody gets sick because it's so transmissible.
The NBA actually had like just one
like
spot,
suite, and everybody stayed in there and they catered the food.
They wasn't like Disney or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So they have their rules that they can't, like, you can stay with your immediate family, but you can't go out and mix and meet like with other people. So the story is, and the girl that's the Instagram model or TikTok person or whatever she is, she's social media famous. She's the girl that got famous in 2020 for licking the toilet seat on the airplane. Corona be damned, excuse my language. So it's so the girl, I was going to describe her, but I don't want to because my descriptive words come out wrong sometimes.
I mean, I'm sure if you just type in girl who licked airplane toilet.
So supposedly she went and tested positive for coronavirus, and then she sent like an email to the team he was on. What was it? The Browns? What team was he on? Cleveland?
No.
It was brown, orange, white. I'm trying my hardest.
I saw this brown stuff.
What is the name of the team? The Chiefs. The Cincinnati Bengals.
Just his team.
His team.
His team at the time. Go ahead.
The team that she was just like, you guys might want to go get tested. I'm positive. And then she put out like a screenshot or screenshots of their text messages back and forth. So then I think that was part of the reason that he might have been let go. That's my theory. You heard it first. Because he possibly infected everyone out there, and then that's why they didn't let him play to get his $1 million bonus.
I'm not sure if you missed or didn't see the last episode, but we went over why he got released, right? The coach had asked him to play. He said he had bone spur or fragments in his ankle, so his ankle was messed up. He didn't want to go back in. So the coach said, if you don't want to go back in, don't worry about it, you done. And that was that. It didn't have anything to do with COVID.
What's another theory?
No, not a theory. See, you can prove these. See, yeah.
Anybody can say anything, though. That's not necessarily what. Well, okay, maybe it was the icing on the cake. Maybe that was the icing on the cake that was just like, you're done.
So how long ago was this that the girl sent the information?
Around the right time, I'm guessing. Around the correct time for him to not be allowed to play anymore or for him to get upset. I preface this with this is a theory. Not sure if it's true or not.
Yeah.
But I believe most of the stuff I see on TikTok. TikTok has taught me a lot.
I believe you do believe most of the stuff that you see on TikTok. That's scary as hell.
It's better than the government right now.
Oh, man. Oh, shit.
Don't come for me, please. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
So that was my sports talk. What's yours?
I'm start selling ShopTalk NC 10-4 hats, man.
I might have one in the car.
What?
Might have one.
This just went way weird. What
happened in sports?
Yeah. Enough about sports, though. I'm just curious to know, where do you get your love of conspiracy theories from? Like,
okay, so that's a good question. So
appreciate it.
My dad. Well, actually, okay. Longer story made short. My last name is Jeffries. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, the saying is, the old people say, which set of Jeffries are you from? Are you from the crazy set? Or are you from the browner Jeffries? Right. So there's a light set and there's a dark set of Jeffries out in the country where I'm from. Mm-hmm. So the crazy set is the side that my dad is from. So they're all a little loopy. Okay. So they believed in aliens before anybody else really did. And like they could sometimes see ghosts and all this other stuff. So that's like the whole conspiracy theory. Like there's more out in the universe than we pretend to believe, or it makes us comfortable to believe. So I'm not saying that I do all that stuff, but I understand because that part of me was nurtured as a kid, whereas most people, like, they don't, share that with their kids because it's kind of weird. So that's why I tend to go to like, well, what if? But that just opens your mind, though, I do believe, because if you're just stuck in your little box, then how much fun is your life going to be?
I mean, the box in which you speak is a box based on facts. You like to say, I'm not sure if this is even real, but I believe this. And I'm like, damn, she do that a lot. I like to know where she get that from.
But those are like other, ways of thinking about things. It doesn't always have to be black and white. Sometimes it can be gray, purple, green, whatever else. It doesn't always have to be straightforward. Sometimes you got to go around the bends to get to the truth. It's not a straight line all the time.
What subject do you teach?
All of them.
Math?
Yeah, science? Math and science. Actually, I went to school for biology.
You teach science and all right. That's interesting.
There's not one way to figure out the answer to a math problem. There's multiple ways to figure out the answers to a math problem. But if you don't think outside of the box, if Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, if they didn't think outside of the box, would we know about gravity? Would we have the Pythagorean theorem? No.
But it's all based on something that they tried, seen,
but
worked it out.
But if they didn't trust themselves to think outside of what they had already been taught, if they said, this is all we know and this is all I'm going to learn, then no one... The future is going to be built on the weirdos. The kids that are not...
No, it is. It's still going to be built on science and math.
No, the kids that of today that are going to grow up and run the world, if you're not able to... If you can only do what I've taught you to do, if you can only do X, Y, and Z, and you're not even wanting... That
doesn't equate to conspiracy theories. How does you tell somebody, I'm not sure if this is right,
having an outward way of thinking, having a weird way of thinking about something that could possibly be, and then testing that theory. Now, mind you, you'd have to go down a rabbit hole and dig. But anyways, going back, the weirdos are going to run the world because if you don't think outside of... My teacher taught me this. But if I learn to think of it in a different way that's going to help me or help somebody else, that's how new ideas are born. And I will stand by that.
But new ideas are still rooted in something.
Yeah, mine was rooted in something too.
It's not.
Antonio Brown's a real person.
No, I'm talking about your conspiracy theory stuff. Like,
yeah, it was rooted.
In what though? Like,
in facts.
How?
It was tangent.
If it's a conspiracy theory.
It was
it's a theory,
superficial
right?
at best. It was touching the surface.
What facts is it rooted in? That's what I want to know.
No worries. It was touching.
I do worry a lot.
Well, I don't. And I have a great time in my life. Because my mind is so open and not just... And then again, it does get me in trouble sometimes. Because you can go off on tangents.
Yeah.
And then you don't come back to it. But most of the time, I always come back to the original thought.
No.
And that's the brain of a person with ADHD. And we can't make fun of people with disabilities.
It's like an episode of Robot Chicken.
And you watched it, so therefore it was entertaining.
Nah, it's just something to do. Like it ain't like entertaining.
That's one of the rudest things.
You just wonder where is this going, and there's no real beginning and ending to it. It's just a stream of thought and stuff like that.
I think it's more like Ren and Stimpy.
Nah, it's Robot Chicken.
Definitely. Or like Powerpuff Girls. I'm
Definitely.
more like Powerpuff Girls.
Definitely Robot Chicken. Yeah. But what got you into teaching?
I come from a long line of teachers, and so that was just what everybody had already done in their lives, and so I knew how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought that me being more of a creative, that I could impart my different ideas upon children. So I understand that if you don't understand something one way, then you need somebody else to say it another way. How many times have you had your mom, dad, or uncle or somebody old say to you you remember Junebug from back in the day? And then just I don't know Junebug. You know Junebug. If you're just going to repeat the same thing that you just said to me and it's not going to make it click, then I need something else to give me a connection. Mm-hmm. So I understood that, and I thought that I would be really good at it. So my mom's a teacher, my sister's a teacher, my aunt's a teacher, 2 of my cousins are teachers. Yeah.
So what you're saying is you found out that you were good at simplifying things and making it relatable to people, so you decided to be a teacher. Okay, I had to catch what you were saying.
I appreciate that.
Fuck Junebug got to do, but it's the story about Junebug.
See, I gave you an example. That's the whole purpose. I tried to relate to you, but you have older parents and you probably have a cousin named Junebug. Everybody has a cousin named Junebug. I do. Yeah. Speaking of old people.
Mm-hmm. Speak of them.
So when I told my dad I had the coronavirus, or I had COVID,
word.
just 5 seconds. So when I told my dad I had it, he was just like, baby, you got the coronavirus. What is it about old people that they will change the word? They don't care. They know it's not right. They watch TV all day long. It's been on every channel for almost 3 years. You know it's coronavirus. You know how to say COVID if you want to make it short. Baby, you got the coronavirus. I was like, Toyota? I mean...
You gotta give your pops a break, man. Your pops is...
No, there's no breaks. I think he does it just to be funny. But you know that old person that is just they mess up words on purpose.
I don't think it's on purpose.
They never learned it? You think they never learned it?
I think they just, in their mind, they're saying it correctly, and it just comes out the wrong way.
Like bathe and baze?
Sure.
Yeah, that irks me.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have any, I don't want to say resolutions, but any plans for 2022? Now that you're,
back to my life, back to myself.
Right.
I am honestly so thankful, even through all the stuff that I had and the as sick as I was, because I was literally about to go to the hospital. And I've seen my friends. I've got 2 of my friends now that are in the hospital for COVID. I didn't see them out that Sunday. But I'm just so thankful that I didn't have to go on the ECMO machine or the breathing machines or any of that other things like that. So right now, like I said, I wake up every day and say, thank you. Mm-hmm. Because he or she didn't have to let me see another day. So I'm just living life so positive right now. I planned my not resolution, but my betterment program that I made up in my mind, and I actually wrote it down, was that I won't speak any negative words to anyone. If I do speak a negative word about someone, I have to give them 3 positive. So it's a 1-to-3 ratio.
Have you had to exercise the rules?
In my mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You haven't outwardly had to do it yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, you haven't been around people. You just not
This
getting
week,
back out.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this week I've just been back out.
When do you start back around your colleagues?
Oh, I went back Tuesday.
Oh, okay. And you still haven't had to use it?
No. Nope. Everything is beautiful. Everything is so positive and so light right now. Now, mind you, there might come a time where I'm tested.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to prepare myself mentally for that. But I know that you get nowhere with negativity. You get nowhere other than digging deeper into a hole. So I understand that now at this point in my life. I'm about to turn 38 next month.
Okay.
And I just want to live and be positive towards everyone. And even ideas that I don't think are great, I want to be able to like expand my mind and say, hey, explain it to me one more time. And see if I can see it from their point of view, like to have empathy, to be empathetic towards that other person, to walk in their shoes. And so that's my...
No matter how stupid the idea is, you're going to try that.
Because who am I to put that person down for having their idea?
Don't rob that bank. I'm going to tell you right now. That's
I've
stupid.
never robbed a bank before,
That's
but I know
stupid.
somebody that robbed a bank.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
They
I'm not going to put them down. Do I have to participate in their foolery?
They already know what you look like from here to here.
Do I have to participate in their foolery? No, I don't have to. But I'm not going to put that person down for having that thought.
I'm going to tell you, you're stupid.
No, I just can't at this point in my life. Now, mind you, 3-4 months from now, I might relapse. I might go back. I might backslide. Excuse me. Curtain. But I don't plan on it. And then another one I have is I'm really going to change my life as far as like what I eat and how much I eat.
So you had like a come to God moment while you was down.
No, for real.
That 2 weeks.
For real.
She
I'm trying to live. I'm
done
trying to
out.
live.
She done hopped out with a brand new diet and everything.
And a way of thinking.
Oh, man.
So, yeah. So I've went to the grocery store, spent about $200, which healthy food is expensive. And we all know that, though. Mm. And so I, no fast food for right now. Now, if it's a sit-down restaurant, that's fine. I'm actually going to Ruth Chris on Saturday. But that's a celebration of life.
What's healthy at Ruth Chris?
My sister and my mom are going to... Actually, steak is good for you.
Okay.
My mom and my sister are going to take me out because I survived. And that's how we do in my family. We celebrate you when you overcome something.
That's like when we used to go get the little personal pan pizza for your AR points. You going to go get a steak.
Oh, you read all the books?
You going to go get a steak for fighting with COVID.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That's another thing I've always done. Like, if you go to the doctor or anything like that, or you get all your assignments finished or anything like that, I reward myself. I have like a self-reward program for myself. Now, mind you, this sounds regimented, but it's all based on like, if you do this and complete this, you can have, whenever I go to the doctor, I get ice cream afterwards. Now, I'm lactose intolerant, but ice cream is a guilty pleasure, a terrible guilty pleasure. So
like you know what it's going to do to you.
Oh, everybody knows.
But you still.
Oh, yeah. But we do things that are bad for us that we still like. Some of us, we drink in excess. We know it's not good for us, but we do it anyway. Some people smoke cigarettes. Some people smoke the devil's lettuce. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It might be illegal in some places. But, we all do things that are bad for us. But it's something as small as ice cream, and it's only hurting me. You know what I mean?
Not necessarily.
You can't drive drunk with ice cream.
Who's in the car with you?
Oh, no, it takes a while. It takes a while.
You're not in the car by yourself.
It takes a while.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, so I, excuse me, I think that it would be better if more people did that for themselves. And now, mind you, you should do this stuff anyways. But if you reward yourself for doing these things, then you'll have something to look forward to. It's like positive behavior influence.
That all depends on what the reward to themselves would be, though. Like, you're assuming everybody has healthy or non aggressive ways to reward themselves and things of that nature.
What do you mean non-aggressive?
Like, some people do crazy shit. Like, motherfuckers ride around, knock mailboxes off with bats and shit like that.
I'll tell you about this time I lost my mirror on the side of it. It was actually leaving one of our shows.
It's so easy for her
to go off. I know. Sorry. ADHD. It was leaving.
Robot chicken. That's the name of this one, Robot Chicken.
It was leaving our friend's house one time after a show. And somebody had sat there, on trash day, they had sat their trash can out a little too far. And maybe my judgment was a little bit off at this point. I can't blame just the trash can.
Right, because it's always there on the same day.
No, I don't live over there. It wasn't at my house. So I'm going down the road. I'm doing probably like 35, 45 because it's a rural road, right? And all of a sudden, boom. And I was like, oh, what was that? So I was like, it wasn't like a bump type
So
of
you
thing.
didn't stop. You just kept
No,
pushing.
I didn't stop. Looked over, saw the mirror was gone. And I was like, should I go back and pick it up? Or should I just like order another one on Walmart.com, which is what I did. And I've had to order 2 since. Obviously, I've learned about myself that my depth perception is not that great when driving.
This was at nighttime?
Yeah, nighttime.
You might be approaching that age to where you just need to do day parties, man.
You know what? When we were on quarantine and we had the curfew, that was my best time. Get back to the house by 8 o'clock. Oh, go to sleep on time, get up refreshed. That was amazing.
HoeVid free?
HoeVid free. That's what I'm trying to stay. No, but another reward that I do, and sorry to hamper on this, but another reward that I do is like if I make it through the whole week, I get to work on time, which is a big thing for me. And I've been to work on time for 2 days. Then on the weekends, I get to either go out to eat or I get to have, some adult beverages because I don't drink through the week. I try not to.
So you give yourself gold stars like the kids.
I am totally into the reward system. It works. But I do it for myself. So that's self-motivation. So I'll change the gold stars to self-motivation. And a lot of people don't even think like this. And it boggles my mind that people don't do this for themselves.
Well, probably because most people like look at going to work on time just as regular.
But what if you struggle with it? I struggle with it. So how do you break bad habits if you don't reward yourself?
I mean, what's the outcome of being to work on time? Do you get paid anymore for being to work on time? There's no incentive to be to work on time.
I mean, other than you don't want to get like the evil eye from your principal.
Or fired.
You gotta be late like the whole year to get fired. You can't get fired that easy as a teacher. You gotta like touch a kid or like hit him or something.
See, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people's motivation is like, shelter, running water
like
and
that.
lights, things of that nature.
Don't worry about stuff like
just
that.
regular grown stuff, you know what I mean?
That's taken care of.
Yeah.
That's built into your salary. You know what you can afford. As far as the necessities, now the extra stuff, that's the reward.
But you need a reward system.
No, not that I need it. I think that it provokes me to want to do these things, to want to do better, to be a great human being in general and like overall.
How long have you been, doing this?
Since I was a kid.
And how would you reward yourself? Like, give me a situation.
I wouldn't. When I was a kid, I wouldn't reward myself. My parents would reward me.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's like a lifelong thing. Yeah. So if I did something like out of the blue, like, went outside and washed the cars for them, then my mom would say, here, I bought you a present, like a surprise. Or if we did something like, okay, good one. So my dad told me, and my sister, but I don't think it really stuck with her, that if you make all A's and B's throughout school, then whenever you graduate, I think I've told you this before, when you graduate, I'll buy you any car you want.
I don't think I
Not only did I make the A/B honor roll every year through 12th grade, I graduated number 11th in my class. I took 8 classes one year, so I had to be at school at 6:45. So I took an extra class, and I had perfect attendance for all of those years.
What kind of car did you end up getting?
I didn't get the car I wanted. I wanted a BMW Roadster. I remember it like it was yesterday. He took me to the lot and everything. The whole family went. We went to the lot, looked at him. Which one do you want, baby? Now, mind you, he had the money to buy it. And so I'm kind of bitter about that, but that's okay because I'm pretty sure it's in my inheritance somewhere. Whatever. And that's probably not responsible to give an 18-year-old that kind of car. Whatever. And so, but I did get to pick out, he bought me 3 cars. So I wrecked the first one. The second one wouldn't pass emissions test because it ended up being from California.
They bought you 3 at one time instead of the one?
No.
Oh, okay.
One at a time, but 3
okay.
cars.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've never, actually, yeah. I can't even say that. The one I have now, I paid for half of it. And that's not a flex at all, but I'm just saying, like,
we know.
That was my reward system.
The paying half was the rewards?
No, the last car I bought was mine. That's my grown-up car.
Okay.
But for graduating from school,
yeah.
like I wrecked my car in 11th grade because I got it, 10th grade? Wrecked at 11th grade, he bought me another one. I was riding the bus. And after you've had a car and you got to get back on that bus, it's hard. And we can talk about GCS and the kids that have to ride the bus instead of have to ride the city bus instead of the school bus because they don't have bus drivers. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we did that. We covered that.
Okay, well then I think that's a travesty.
Yep. Same thing Lo said.
Did you talk about the Forsyth teachers that they messed up the budget and they're not going to get that bonus that they were promised?
Nah.
So
don't nobody really go into it like that.
Yeah, well, anyway, so I got the 2 cars he bought me. I came home off the bus one day. The car was sitting in the driveway, and I was just like, so then my best friend got off the bus with me, Jesse, and we got in my car and rode around. Yeah.
Back to your reward system, right? So you did all that thinking you were going to get the Roadster. Mm-hmm. You didn't get the Roadster, and it still didn't, like, deter you from, like...
Because I'd already done the work. I was known as the smart kid.
Right. I'm just saying, in general, knowing, okay, I was expecting this for doing this. I did my part, but that didn't pan out. Did you just snort?
No, I just was breathing in because I'm a little congested. I'm so sorry. I'm a little congested still.
Did you take a Sudafed break?
It's in the car. No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Don't worry. We begin right here. So that didn't deter you from, like, oh, this reward system thing is a sham. I did all the work. It was
only a sham one time though, and I can't be mad because the money that would have been paid for the Roadster, I got it technically in cars. Okay. And my dad sent me to Europe when I was 14.
So you just see the silver lining regardless. That's how you.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
In my life at this point.
Do you have that same? Do you have the reward system in your relationship?
Yes. How
does that work? How does that look in a grown-up relationship?
So if we're doing the right thing, like I believe that presents should go both ways. So, if I start to feel like you're uninterested, then I turn it off too. I'm a Pisces. So we go out to eat. I'll say, hey, let's go this place. If I pick the place and it's like really expensive and that's where I want to go and I know that he necessarily doesn't want to go there or hasn't been there before, then I'll pay for it. I've bought guys flowers before. I know that's kind of like edgy or like trading places like Usher said. But I believe that you should, when you shouldn't just be receiving. You should be giving as well.
So when you were laid up, eating chicken noodle soup, taking your Sudafed, what were you listening to?
I was listening to Cleo Soul. Like soul like the sun. You know her? Yeah, When I'm in Your Arms. Yeah, so CLEOSOL, Cleo Soul. She's dope.
Yeah, I'll put a picture of her back there.
Yeah.
That's it? That's the only thing that helped you?
I was more or less like in and out of sleep, but I did see, because it came up on my TikTok. You know, I follow people with music or whatever, like the new artist or whatever. So he said, the guy was introducing like the new artist of the week is this person. But I had listened to her before with you, I want to say.
Yeah, I think I played the one joint in here.
And it was slow, yeah.
CeeLo was in here.
Yeah, I remember that, but I didn't think that was the same. I don't know why. Connection. So that's who I was listening to. Who were you listening to?
Oh, man. Magic. Nas EP, still listening to that. I know I said this last episode, but yes, I'm still listening to that. What else was I listening to, man? Bobby Caldwell. Listen to Open Your Eyes. Yeah, I'm
old school.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate that.
For sure. Cause a lot of people thought that was Stevie Wonder on that sample on the Light with Common.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people thought that was Stevie Wonder. That is Bobby Caldwell.
Open Your Eyes. Man.
Miami Nights. Listen to still Bobby Caldwell, but Miami Nights. I proposed a versus between Bobby Caldwell and Michael McDonald on February.
Are they still alive?
As far as I know, on February 1st,
Only if he wears the hat.
Oh, that's the only way you're gonna. That's the only way you're gonna notice.
How am I gonna know who he is?
Yeah, gotta have it in Atlanta at Lenox Mall. That versus.
You gonna get shot at Lenox Mall? No offense.
Oh man. Well, look, man, I'm happy to have you back.
Wait, what were you watching? I watched a lot of Netflix.
Oh yeah. We
Or I let it watch me.
As of this taping, I haven't watched anything new other than Georgia beating Alabama, but we're going to say that for when we all back so I can rub that in Mac's face.
The Roll Tide people?
Yeah. Rub all that in Mac's face.
Yeah, so you can hold on to that one.
Yeah, because you don't give two damns about that.
No, I mean, I do. I appreciate it. I just don't make time in my schedule for that. For sure. I'm going to try to. I watched a whole bunch of reels about Steph Curry, like his highlights and all that stuff and how many threes he hit and how smooth it is. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. But as far as shows and movies and stuff, man, I only watch TV for real like once a week. Every other day it's either working on editing, thinking of new ways to
improve.
Yeah, add stuff to the set, reading
You're really good
books
at that too.
Listening to not really self-help stuff, but like more like affirmations and things of that nature. Just trying to, walk it like I talk it a little bit. You know
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I walk in my truth every day.
That's what's up.
I was watching this improv show that I found on Netflix called Middleditch and Schwartz. Middleditch and Schwartz. And it was actually really funny. So they would ask a person in the audience, like give them a scenario, and then they would do like a whole show off of it.
Like whose line is it anyways?
But more like extended.
And more interactive with the crowd. 'Cause I think the host is the one that throws out the scenarios on whose line.
Somebody, yeah. But it was the crowd instead.
So it's pretty much freestyle improv. Improv is freestyle, but it's really freestyle if the crowd.
A whole 45 minutes worth of setup and like work.
And it's a season, or it's just like
3 or 4 episodes.
Sound like something I might be interested in watching, man.
Yeah, and I watched Space Force, which actually the Middleditch guy was in Space Force. He's a comedian.
Why do I know that name? Space Force.
Steve Carell.
Yeah.
That's good.
From The Office.
Yes.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's something I can watch on Mondays because that's when I normally watch the television.
The television?
Yeah, the television.
Yeah, I don't really pull with the television. CNN and the Weather Channel. That's about it.
Don't trust that CNN, man.
What other news source do you trust more than CNN?
I actually just I much rather go to news sites. That way I can see who's writing about it and I can do the research on it. And I can actually do some background on the writer.
But I think not to discredit CNN, I think that they are the most, then mind you, everybody leans a certain way, who you like and who you don't like. But I think that out of all the news sites or all the news shows, they give you the most information.
They give you the most information that they want you to have.
Exactly.
If you really want to be objective, look at both. Go to Fox News, then watch CNN.
Who watches Fox News?
Yeah,
Fox
shit.
News
A lot
terrible.
of people watch Fox News.
Fox News is terrible.
Nah, I don't mind either. I don't mind Fox News.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just because I don't agree with you don't mean you're wrong. I still want to see what you're talking about.
Same thing I said. I don't have to follow them through the stupidity.
Yeah.
But I can, listen to you.
Well, you talking about
no, I thank you for reaffirming what I said earlier.
You talking about people with bad ideas. I ain't talking
and these people have terrible ideas,
I ain't talking about it. Those aren't ideas. Those are just
about what they
terrible,
think happened. That's their interpretation. It's just like the Bible. You interpret it different depending on who reads it.
I don't know how we just got there from there, but
it was an example of what we were talking about.
Not at all.
It was interpretation.
No, that is not the same as looking at a news source. How are you interpreting a news source wrong?
You can.
Exactly.
You can. It can be done.
Right. That pause you just gave, there we go. So what'd you learn today?
I learned that you are an amazing person and you're so patient with me. And I say that as the positivity that's coming out of me, so I can't say anything negative. I appreciate that is something that you're working on in your journey through 2022 in the future. So
I never said none of that, but I appreciate it.
I appreciate you practicing kindness. I appreciate all the stuff that you do. So I learned that I have to work on my conspiracy theories.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
Or I have to do more research to be able to prove at least a part of it.
Yeah, just give me something
that you can hold on to.
Yeah.
And ground you.
Yeah. Because them joints be coming out of thin air.
Hey, but they're interesting, though.
David Blaine. Off camera, they dope. On camera, I be looking lost as hell, man.
Oh, yeah, but you don't hear everything. I don't think you process it. But when you watch it back, it makes sense.
Cause it all sounds like robot chicken, even when you're delivering it.
Imagine I only say half of what I'm thinking.
Good God Almighty. Well, what I learned today is all of this that I thought was wild, she's only giving me half of it. That's what I learned. May God help us all.
You're welcome.
And with that being said, thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's your man 58 South, fresh from recovery.
Shaunna the Socialite.
Hey, man, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time. One word.
Two fingers. 3 times.
Look at you. Peace.
Wear your mask.
Yeah, and keep your ass in the house. Or don't wear sequins.
HoeVid.